Robert writes and it says, Tom, my girlfriend is in Europe. Strike one. I've been listening to your show for 4 years. I have become emotionally involved with my girlfriend. Strike two. She went to Spain to study abroad for 3 months. Her father makes a 6-figure income and is a cheap ass. He does not want to send her money. I just spoke to her today and she asked me, could I send her $100 a month? She left on February the 16th. I've been listening to your show for a while, and I am not convinced that she has been faithful. I mean, come on. She is thousands of miles away, and she's been drinking and smoking hash. Strikes 3 and 4. You're out! Yeah. Those are not conducive to study, may I say. And believe me, I know. Now get this. Robert says, I don't know what to do. And here comes strike 5. She just told me she's going to stay an extra month. I need your help, he says. Plus, I've committed a 101 mistake. She is 20 years old and I'm 24. He asked me, should I just go out and hook up with chicks and forget about her? I've become a total pussy. Supposedly we are exclusive, but she is in Spain. What should I do? Signed, Robert. Now, Robert, you have been listening for 4 years. You did not need to write this letter. Long-distance relationships are a joke. Very few of them are relationships in any sense of the word. When women go to Europe, let's just take Europe as an example here. When women go to Europe, when they are 20 or 19 or whatever, what goes on the road stays on the road. Even women who are afraid to appear to be sluts, the minute they leave the continent where they live, anything goes. Anything goes. Women will do anything once they leave the continent. They'll do anything with just about anyone. I mean, you should not have a relationship at this age. You should not be having a relationship with somebody that young. And somebody who's gone to Spain to quote-unquote study, who then gets there and starts drinking and smoking hash, how many red flags do you need? On top of that, how can there be any doubt about whether or not you should send her $100 a month? For what? This is not your responsibility. Think about it. Maybe her father knows what she's getting herself into. Are you supposed to send her $100 a month so she can buy more booze or hash or pot or crank or whatever she's into over there? Is that what you're supposed to send her $100 a month for? You pussy? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Outrageous. I'm amazed anybody would even ask this question. There is no relationship. When she, by the way, I noticed how she stayed around until February the 16th. Got her Valentine's Day present, her card, her flowers, whatever you gave her, then bolted for Spain. And now she's going to stay an extra month. So I guess she's going to be there from February to May. Now she's extending it into June. Yeah, probably is her new Spanish boyfriend, and she can take a vacation after class is over. If you think about it. I mean, let's be realistic. When you're drinking and smoking hash, Robert, what usually follows? If there's somebody of the opposite sex around, what usually follows? You know what usually follows. And the last time I smoked hash, I was at it all night long. And I don't mean smoking hash. And that's what happens. Don't be in denial. I'm telling you what's happening here. She's banging other guys who have an accent. These guys all sound like, Julio Iglesias or whatever, and she's like all over it. Oh, yeah, ooh, yeah. That's what's going on there. And you're going to send her $100 a month? What kind of a sucker are you? But I have to imagine this is not the first case of this, okay? I have to imagine that there are those of you out there who have a long-distance relationship who have been asked to send money. I'd like to know how common this is. I'm amazed at the gall of somebody who would say, send me $100 a month. I'm amazed. I'm going to tell you a story about how I got some money out of a chick. I don't think I've ever told this one on the air before. But now that my mom and dad have died and gone on to the great beyond, I can tell this story without fear of retribution. When I was 25 years old, and I was broke, and I mean broke, I realized that in order to succeed in the radio business, I was going to have to leave my then hometown of New York City to find work elsewhere. So I scoured the help wanted sections of every trade magazine, the broadcasting business, and I found a job in Virginia at a little radio station, a little 1,000-watt station in Stanton, Virginia. And I know we're on the radio in Harrisonburg, so I know that you folks who are listening in Harrisonburg, you know where Stanton, Virginia is, home of the Statler brothers. I was offered a salary of $160 a week to work a 60-hour week. And yes, that was less than the minimum wage, okay? Not only that, I was in debt to the tune of $3,300. And I had no place to live, no car, and I was going to have to move to a room in a boarding house somewhere near the radio station so I wouldn't have to drive there. And I was going to have to put a deposit down on my telephone service, and my gas service, and my electrical service. And then I was going to have to pay those bills when they came in, because you ever work for a job like this? Always early in your career when you really, really need the money. That's when you work for a company like this one, okay? I took the job at the radio station, and they told me, well, when you fill out your paperwork here, it's going to take several weeks to process it. And so you won't be getting your first paycheck for 5 weeks. Now, I'm already $3,300 in debt, and I won't get my first paycheck for 5 weeks. So I wrote a letter to my mom. I forgot about this till my mom died, and she told my brother about it. Wrote a letter to my mom, and I said, Mom, I need $150 just for 5 weeks, and I'll pay you back. I just need to install my phone, install my gas, install my electricity, pay a security deposit on this room in a boarding room. Could you send me a check for $150? I'll pay you back in 5 weeks. Mom wrote back apologizing and said no. Nope, not going to do it. So now here I am, I'm $3,300 in debt, and I have to get to Stanton, Virginia, and start working on the radio, and I can't even afford the gas to put in my rental car to move my things the 400 miles from New York City to Stanton, Virginia. So what did I do? I'm going to be honest. There was a girl who I used to see occasionally who, she looked okay. I just didn't like her all that much. But I had a hunch, and I told her I was very excited about my new job and I wanted to celebrate with her. And she was like, oh, that's great. So I told her, so she would pay. I said, why don't you set us up with a hotel room? This was on Queens Boulevard in New York City. Okay. Why don't you set us up a hotel room? I will meet you at the hotel, and we're going to celebrate. And she was so excited because I hadn't called her in a long time. Because I didn't like her all that much. So she agreed. We decided on the hotel. She was going to set it up. We were going to spend the night together. She was congratulating me on the job. And once I had made the date and agreed to meet her and spend the night with her in this chintzy hotel room, I told her, by the way, one more thing. I'm $3,300 in debt, and I just need some money to get started. And she was so excited for me and didn't realize I was pulling a fast one. She literally brought a lunch bag, one of those little brown lunch bags, full of 10s and 20s, adding up to $150. And I remember she used to drive one of these big, what do they call those Chevy vans that they use like for the phone company? She used to drive one of these. Like an Astro van or something. She used to drive one of these big honking things. So this thing comes lumbering down Queens Boulevard to the hotel. And there she is, and it looked like an old movie when they would have like the bag of money with a dollar sign on it. She came up with the bag of money, gave it to me, and then, this is one of the less proud moments of my life, I had to spend the night having sex with this woman. But in reality, I needed the $150. I can still remember the smell of that perfume. I remember this scenario. So my mom had no idea what I would have to do to get the $150 when she said no. But that's what I did to get money so I could leave town. And that's what this story reminded me of in kind of an indirect way. I am curious about people who, you date them and then they leave town. They have a new job. They go to school. They become exchange students or something. And then for some bizarre reason, they want you to send them money. And we have morons out there, I know it, who say yes to this stuff. I can't, like this guy writing the letter. You have to write me a letter and ask me, should I send her $100 a month? Is there a question about this? No. No, you shouldn't. You know, if I ever spend money on a woman, and I certainly would not just hand over $100 a month to a woman, but if I were ever going to spend money on a woman, dinner, drinks, whatever, it's because I'm paying for exclusivity and I'm paying for sex. That's the fact, Jack. If I'm not getting those two things, we can go Dutch, or she can pay. If this guy's chick is in Spain getting drunk and smoking hash and she's going to stay a little longer, forget about it. But I'm wondering, have you been asked to send money to somebody like this? Have you ever mailed money out to someone? Have you ever been made to feel guilty for not sending cash? I'm not talking about child support or vagina money. Just somebody is in another city. They go, oh, I need some money. Could you just start sending me some money? Have you ever done anything like that?
Tom. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Oh, when I get together, things happen.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Adrian on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Adrian.
Hey.
Hello?
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah.
How you doing? It's Adrian.
Hi, Adrian.
Yeah, listen, I got a quick story. I was with a chick, I'm 27 years old. I was with this chick about a year and a half, right? This happened about 4 months ago. And she told me she was going to go on a vacation to Texas to actually go visit some family. So it was cool, you know. She went about a week or 2 weeks. And she gave me a call we kept in touch, you know, once in a while here and there. But about 3 weeks later, she called me up. And you know what she told me? She told me that she was actually going to stay about another 3-4 weeks, an extra month. So I was like, what do you mean? You know, what do you mean you're going to stay? So first of all, that was a big shock to me. And then second, you know, about 2 weeks later, she called me again. And, you know, she changed her mind. She found a school there. She actually wanted to live there. And to me, I was like, well, what do you mean? I mean, we've been, you know, going out for like a year and a half or so. And so that kind of shocked me, you know. So, you know, the time passed by and I was like, you know what, I don't know. I was kind of iffy about it. I was just sure, you know, if I want to stay with her. But all of a sudden, I mean, she kept calling me, you know, and, you know, I was just listening to your show and she asked me for some money to pay for her school, for her books and all that stuff. So I was kind of shocked with that. And as soon as she told me that, I dumped her.
You did. That's perfect. That's what you should do.
Exactly. So I'm 27 right now, you know, single, you know, trying to, you know, I mean, she was cool, you know. I mean, like I said, we're together for about a year and a half, and I mean, when she told me she was going to actually live there to go to school, you know, that was a big shock for me. So, I mean, just call it, you know, let you know that when I was hearing your story about that. But as soon as she told me, you know, she wanted money from me, I said, screw her, you know.
That's it. And by the way, screw her. You wouldn't even get to screw her anymore. You'd be setting her money and not get sex.
Right, exactly. So, you know. So that's all, Tom. Sorry.
Thank you, Adrian.
Okay.
Appreciate the call. Yes.
Can you blow me a Kobe style?
Here you go, Adrian.
This is about us. She's so special to me. Yeah, it beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Raymond on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm okay.
I got a good story for you. Dating this girl for about a year and a half. Decided she wanted to go back to Florida where her family was, an ex-boyfriend. And basically, after she was supposed to be out there for about 2 weeks, a month later, she calls me up saying that she needed a little cash, you know, help her out because she wants to stay out a little longer to visit her parents, which was about, you know, not exactly the truth. And so I had fun. I sold off all this stuff and gave her half the money I sold her.
You did what now?
I sold off, we were living together.
Yeah.
And I sold off half the stuff that she owned.
Oh, and then you sent her the money?
Oh, no, I kept half of the money and sent her the other half.
Uh-huh.
And then when basically ran out of the stuff that she had, moved into my own place, and sent her a sorry note, had no more money.
Ooh, did you ever hear from her again?
Yeah.
What'd she say?
She came home about a month later after I stopped sending the money, you know, to get the rest of her stuff because she said she was going to move out there for good. And she had nothing left. It was empty. Hadn't paid the rent in 2 months because it was in her name. She was back out, no money, nothing.
That's the way to go, baby.
You know it, Tom.
I am proud. Thank you. Thank you for the call. Love that. Screw her. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Pete on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Pete.
Hello, I got a good one for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved here from Uganda about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And I had a fiancée there. So she tried to talk me into bringing her here. And I told her, no, I got to go to school. Eventually, maybe when I settle down and we're still, you know, things are still good, I might bring her here. So she tried to tell me after that she wanted some money. She was so broke and, you know. So I refused to send her money. So eventually, she just married my best friend.
Of course she did.
Yeah.
Which she might have done anyway.
Probably.
What kind of friend was that?
I know.
Unbelievable. Aren't you glad you didn't send her the money?
I'm so glad I didn't even bring her here. Maybe she would have married somebody else here.
Absolutely. Well, Pete, thank you for that story. I love that. Don't ever send these bitches any money. Don't ever send them any goddamn money. If you do not have them on a leash You cannot see where they are and what they're doing. Don't even think about it. And if you can, you still shouldn't give them money. But you definitely shouldn't if you can't see them. Brian on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Brian.
Hey, buddy. I was talking to a chick on the internet for less than a month, and so she kept sending me messages like every other day telling me that she loves me and all this, and her family loves me and all this stuff. And then I got an email 2 weeks ago, and she asked me to send her $400 so she can get her green card and a passport. And then she needed $70 for this and $70 for that. And I wrote her back and told her, I said, keep on wishing, baby, because you're not getting the money.
Wow. I wonder how many guys she scammed. She sounds like the Russian Bonnie Lee Bakley.
I know, exactly. And I wrote her back just last night, and I said, I wonder how many of these, how many of these other guys you scammed to try to get money out of them. Because I guess the rubles are, the American dollar is worth quite a bit over there in Russia.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and she dropped me like a hot potato when I told her, I said, to keep on dreaming about me sending her money. And she gave me the address and stuff, and how to send the money over to Russia was by Western Union, and gave me the address to the actual bank.
Oh, my God. Outrageous. By the way, I had a chick one time. I'll tell you a story. I love talking on the radio about these chicks who are constantly with abusive boyfriends, and then they whine and cry to you about it. There was a chick who one time I spent about 3 months banging really good. I banged her really good for about 3 months. I mean, she was great in the sack. Absolutely great. A real screamer. It was incredible. Just the way I like them, Kind of a cocoa brown color. Not all the way white, not all the way black. Kind of somewhere in between. Beautiful. Beautiful brown breasts. Just looked great. But insane. And it had a string of abusive boyfriends. And I mean, these are 911 calls at 3 o'clock in the morning boyfriends. I cannot be this woman's boyfriend. Because I knew that she was all about drama and everything. So my goal was to hit it and quit it. And this thing kind of petered out when finally, she was looking for more and she wasn't going to get it. And so we kind of parted ways. And over a period of time, and I would say literally a couple of years, I heard from her from time to time. I heard from her when she called me from her best friend's house after she had to escape still another abusive boyfriend. I heard from her from bars when she was drunk and complaining to me about the latest abuser after the last guy. I mean, she was with one after another. She was always in love. She would move right in with them after 2 or 3 weeks. I wouldn't hear from her because the guy would be terribly jealous and possessive and wouldn't want her talking to me on the phone, which I completely understand. But she would say, all right, now don't call me anymore. Don't call me anymore because, I just moved in with my boyfriend and everything's great. And I don't want to screw this one up, okay? So don't call me. I'd be, okay, fine, I won't call you. Literally, 6 months later, I'd get these drunken calls at 1:30 a.m. Tom, are you home? Can I come over? My boyfriend threw me out. He locked me out of the house. He threw me out. I have a black eye. I don't know what to do. Can I come over? No. Come on. I have no place else to go. None of my friends will talk to me anymore. Please, please. No. Come on. I'll F you. I'll even F. How desperate is it? I'll F you. I mean, if that's what it takes, I'll just F. No. All I need is your boyfriend coming over to my place or calling me on the phone and harassing me. No, not happening. I would get these calls like all the time, and it was always the same cycle, too. She would call up, tell me not to call her anymore because she was finally in love. This was gonna be it. This was the guy. The guy. This was the love of her life. This was what she'd been waiting for. And then a few months later, that call would come in. I'm at Denny's. I'm down the block from you. Can I come over? I'm just 5 minutes from you. Can I come over? I'm down the Sunset Strip. I don't have any money. Can I come over? And the worst one I got, I swear, the worst one I got, the worst. And if she's listening, she knows who she is, okay? Finally, I've not spoken to her in several years, but she knows who she is. Dean, you don't know who she is, so. But anyway, finally, the last time I got a call from her, this is absolutely true. Last time I got a call from her, she was working downtown Los Angeles. Anybody who's seen Blade Runner knows that downtown Los Angeles is, well, let's just say pretty dead at night. Not a destination if you have a social life, okay? I get a call from her. She's in downtown Los Angeles at a Korean hotel. So what has happened is the latest boyfriend has kicked her out. They had a fight. She had to leave. She drove to downtown Los Angeles right near where she worked so she'd be able to go to work the next day, and checked into a hotel. And here's what she wanted. She wanted me to come down, console her, hold her all night, you know, maybe we could have sex or something. And then in the morning, check out and pay the bill. And this stuff is outrageous. By the way, I did not go. Did not go. In case you were wondering. So that's what I'm wondering about you. Did you ever get that request for somebody from somebody who wants you to send them money, pay for something? You're not even there, and they want you to send them cash or pay. Did you send it?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Do you have a nice rack?
You would like to know, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
And what would that do for you?
I'd probably pitch a tent here in the studio.
The Tom Leykis Show on 97.1, the South Bay's FM talk station.
If you're losing your hair and have been waiting for science to create a miracle,
Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Let's say hello to Dave on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, what's going on, Tom?
Not much, Dave.
I am a new listener. I had a situation. I was just listening to you right now driving home. I had a situation similar to what you was talking about.
Do tell.
Yeah, and well, it was this clerical staff that was at my job. She was in a relationship with a verbally abusive / physical boyfriend, and we started talking. We ended up, seeing each other, and basically what happened was we ended up, screwing with each other, and she ended up going back to him, and I haven't heard from her for a couple of years, and then she ended up calling me because my phone number never changed, and I was like, hey, how you doing? She's like, oh, yeah. So she's called a couple of times, talking about, I just want to get reacquainted, blah, blah, blah. And come to find out, she ended up marrying the dude, ended up having a baby by him, but now he's in jail. So she's like, well, come over. So I went over and ended up banging her again. Then after I get done, she asked me to pay her rent. I was like, what? Mm-hmm. Pay your rent? I was like, oh, hell no. So she's like, I'm not going to talk to you no more. I was like, well, what do you think? You think I'm going to come over here and bang you and then pay your rent? So she was highly upset when I didn't give her any money for her to pay her rent. So I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what she's doing now, but I think her abusive husband's supposed to get out of jail, I think this month or either last month, one of the two. But, yeah, so...
She'll be giving him your phone number.
Nah, she won't, I don't call her, she doesn't call me, and I don't go...
I just can't believe people ask for money like that. I can't believe it.
Well, I don't know. She was trying to tell me that her girlfriend or her cousin has all these sugar daddies, that pay her to just, for her to just be with them. I was like, what? I'm like, well, they must be some rich-ass, boring people because I would never give my money to a woman. You know, never. I work too hard for my money.
Absolutely.
You know? Too hard for it.
And they don't work hard enough for it. Darren on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
How we doing? Darren from Buffalo.
Hey.
I've been listening to you ever since about Thanksgiving, ever since you came on the show, and you are the sole reason why I am single man right now. I'll tell you what.
Do tell.
Oh, yeah. Well, the main story I'm calling to you is I took a little vacation between semesters when I was back in college with one of my fraternity brothers. And I used the rest of my rent money that I was supposed to pay my landlord. But in any case, I got there, money was running short. I just started cooking at this little place, you know, give me a little extra pocket cash. And I called up the girl at the time that I was banging, and I asked her to send me $150, you know what I mean? And while I was down there in good old New Mexico, hooping it up and getting laid by other ladies, I was having her send me money and support my drinking and having a good time down there.
And she was stupid enough to send it?
Oh, she was definitely stupid enough to send it.
Wow.
It was a good time. I mean, you know, and I just took a little vacation and I spent some time with her too, but you know, that was a long time ago though, you know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, Dean makes a very good point. What you did in Europe, Robert, the guy who wrote the email, that's what his girl is doing in Spain right now.
Yeah.
He's going to send money and then she's going to be up partying with her new boyfriend.
Yeah, but she sent me money, Tom.
No, I know that. I'm saying that it's just the gender that's reversed. But you did what this girl is doing.
Right, exactly. Oh, yeah, and I had a great time doing it on her dollar, you know what I mean?
I'll bet you did.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Really?
1-800-5800-866.
Shut up! Why do you listen to Tom then? You don't like him, don't listen to him.
I used to listen to him every night.
I listen to him every night. He is my idol.
Shut up, I'm talking.
Okay. Shut up!
The Tom Leykis Show.
Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Eric on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Uncle Tom, how's it going?
Going okay, Eric.
Hey, Tom, I was 17. I met a 27-year-old, third date. I lose my virginity. 3 months later, she calls me up. She needs money for an abortion. I guess she had a booty call about a week before she met me or something like that, and I said, well, great. I said, you know, how much money you need? I give her the money, and her new boyfriend that she got about a week before goes with her to the clinic. They get in an argument. I found out about a week later she ends up stalking the guy in the face after he's the that takes her to the clinic.
Do you have any idea who the father of that embryo was?
I don't know. I didn't have to do any work. Doesn't matter.
Yo, you had to pay.
Hey, I saved a lot of money. Better than paying 18 years of child support.
Well, that's only assuming that she was actually pregnant with your kid, which you're not even sure about.
I'm not sure about, but hey, better safe than sorry.
Well,
I did use a condom, but, you know, like I said, things slipped off. I was a little inexperienced and, you know.
Well, anything can happen, and you better to err on the side of caution. I understand where you're coming from. Jesse on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
What's going on, Tom?
Not much, Jesse.
All right, check this out, man. There's this girl, man. We all used to hang out before, man. She used to party and tease. That's all she did, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's tease. Once it came down to the point, she just looked at you, laughed, and took off, you know. She didn't want to let you do anything. So one day, you know, we hung out. She used to like champagne. She used to get drunk on that champagne. And one day, you know, we're hanging out. It was summer. It was hot. All day we're just drinking away. And at the end of the day,
we lost you. All right, Sarah, real quickly. Hello.
Oh, hey, Tom.
Hi.
Sorry, I didn't hear you say my name. Okay.
I got 30 seconds here, so step it up.
Okay, well, there was a girl that I knew, and pretty much the long story short, she would sleep with guys, and about 2 weeks later, call them up, say, you owe me $600 for an abortion.
Really?
Yeah, and she's been doing this for like 2 years.
And how often do they pay? All the time?
Yeah, she was actually dating this guy for a couple months, and she told him, I didn't tell you, I'm a couple months pregnant, and she made him sell his drum set that he's been, like, saving up for, like, forever. And he, like, bought it for his graduation present, and he had to sell it to get the money.
Oh, my God. Our email address, tom@blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.